my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you two Valentine's Day DIYs. Both of these are really easy and inexpensive to make, and they're both that shabby chic farmhouse style that's really popular right now. And you can either hang these or just set them out with your decor. If you guys want to see how I made them, then just keep watching. For the first DIY, I'm going to be revamping this wooden heart that I picked up from the Target dollar spot, and I'm just taking off the tag and the hanger that it came with, and then I'm going to be painting it with the Waverly Inspirations chalk paint in the color Ivory. I really love this brand and color of chalk paint, and I picked mine up at Walmart. Next, I'm going to be taking this XO sign that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to be painting it with the Waverly Inspirations chalk paint in the color Ballet Slipper. I'm using this smaller paintbrush just so it's easier for me to paint in the hard to reach areas. Here I'm just painting on a second coat of that chalk paint, and I did end up going and doing a third coat as well, just so that everything was covered. After my heart has dried, I'm going to be using this chalk paint from Michaels. It's the Art Minds brand in the color Espresso, and I'm going to be dry brushing that over the heart. And you want to be really careful not to have a lot of paint on your brush, and make sure that you get all the excess paint off, and I'm using a paper towel here to do that. I'm pressing very lightly with my brush and just going back and forth in every which direction so that it covers. And when I did the ivory chalk paint, I did it kind of thick so that it would leave brush strokes, because when you dry brush over with a darker color and you have brush strokes, it kind of leaves more of like a wood grain. So I really like the look of that. Next, I'm going to be taking this nautical rope that I got from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to be hot gluing it around the edges of the heart. As I'm going around the heart with the rope, I'm placing it on the heart before I actually hot glue it, just to make sure that the placement is right and it's not all jagged. I'm going to be attaching the wooden XO to the heart by using hot glue, and I'm just eyeballing it to make sure that it's centered. Now I'm going to be using jute as my hanger for this heart, and I'm just going to be putting it through the holes that were already in the heart and then tying it off and cutting off the excess. Moving on to DIY number 2, I'm going to be making paper roses and attaching them to a canvas. And I'm first starting out by taking construction paper, and I'm using an ivory and a reddish pink color, and I'm cutting them into different size circles. I'm going to be doing large, medium, and small circles, just so that my roses are all different sizes. After cutting a few of the first few circles, I decided to put a couple pieces of paper together and then cut the circles so that it made it go by a lot quicker. Now that I have all of my circles cut, I'm going to be cutting each circle into a spiral so that I'm able to roll them up to look like a rose. After I have all my paper cut into spirals, I'm going to be taking the outer edge and starting by rolling it underneath, and I'm just going to keep rolling until the spiral is all rolled up, and then I'm going to be letting it loose so that it forms more of a rose shape, and then I'm going to be hot gluing it to the bottom portion of the paper. You want to make sure that the inside portion of the rose touches the hot glue on the bottom so that everything stays together. Here I'm just doing the same thing I did with the other color paper. I'm just making my rose shape by rolling it up all the way until the larger part of the paper, and then I'm going to be hot gluing it to the bottom after I let it loose a little bit so that it forms more of a rose shape. I'm doing the same thing I did with the last ones. I'm just cutting the circle into a spiral shape, and then I'm starting by rolling the end piece inward to form a rose shape, and then letting out the paper so that it forms more of a bigger rose, and then hot gluing it to the bottom bigger portion of the paper. And I figured I would just show you one more time. Here I'm going to be tracing this paper heart, which I just cut out from a scrap piece of construction paper, and I'm placing it in the middle and then just tracing it with this light gray color crayon that was my son's. And I just want to make sure that my heart is even on the canvas. That's why I'm tracing it out first so that I know exactly where to place my flowers. I'm just going to be placing my flowers on the canvas to see how I want to place them on here and which flowers I want to use in which spot. To attach the flowers, I'm going to be using hot glue, and I'm just going to be placing the hot glue on the canvas and then pressing the flower onto the hot glue so that it attaches to the canvas. I didn't use the same amount of red or ivory color on both sides. I just kind of put the flowers where I thought that they would look nice, and that's where I hot glued them. Next, I'm going to be using this lace ribbon that I got from Dollar Tree and attaching it to the canvas with my hot glue. And I'm just going to be making sure that it's even by eyeballing it once again before I use my hot glue. Now I'm going to be attaching another piece of the lace ribbon to the top portion of the canvas and just doing the same thing I did with the bottom portion and hot gluing it on. thought it needed a little something extra, so now I'm just going to be taking the jute and wrapping it around, and I'm going to be using 2 pieces and just hot gluing them on like I did the ribbon. I'm going to be taking 2 more pieces of jute and putting it on the top portion of the canvas just like I did the bottom. I really enjoyed making these DIYs and loved how they turned out. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe before leaving. Thank you so much for watching.